An approaching deadline could impact your travel plans for later this year. On May 7th, air travelers will need to have what's called a real ID in order to board a plane.
TV5's James Felton joins us to tell us what real ID is and how to know if you already have one. James.
According to the Michigan Secretary of State's office, 73% of people who have a Michigan driver's license or state ID cards already have Real ID compliant cards. But if you're the other 27%, you need to act soon to beat the May 7th deadline.
It's going to be imperative that you get your Real ID if you want to fly domestically in the United States.
Casey Posa, Director of Marketing and Public Relations for the Bishop International Airport Authority, talking about the federal requirement to have Real ID by May 7th.
A Real ID is a driver's license or a state-issued ID that meets the security standards outlined by the Real ID Act.
According to Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, in Michigan, a Real ID is a driver's license or state ID marked by a star. On May 7th, all U.S. airlines will require a Real ID compliant document to board a domestic flight.
TSA will turn you away. May 7th is that deadline.
The Federal Real ID Act of 2005 was passed in response to the September 11th terrorist attacks and requires higher standards for identification. When the law goes into full effect on May 7th, a standard Michigan driver's license or ID card will no longer be adequate to board an aircraft for a domestic flight or to enter military bases, nuclear power plants, or certain other federal facilities. So if you need a Real ID, you're urged to contact the Secretary of State office now, because it will take weeks to get one in the mail.
If people have any questions, to reach out to the Secretary of State just to make sure that their ID is compliant. We don't want anybody being turned away at TSA when they're trying to go on a great trip.
Again, the Secretary of State says if your driver's license or state ID has a star, you're Real ID ready. Back to you.
Thank you, James. And for more information on the Real ID requirements, go to the hot link section on WNEM.com.